talk about AB because we haven't dived into that in football.
Okay.
What are y'all thoughts on Antonio Brown and the things that's happened with him?
Let's talk about it, dog. Law talks. Let's talk about it, dog. Law talks. Let's talk about it and let's go and get it started. It's a Law Talks party. Yeah, you heard about them boys. We them boys. Yeah, we back. We smoking on that hookah. Just make sure that he get paid.
Welcome back, people. As you can see, he's indulged in his drink.
There it is.
We're back for our second
Law Talks 2022, baby. We back in this thing.
There you go.
What's up, everybody? Fellas, what's fellas? It's been a week since I've seen you guys.
You must have got on your favorite hat.
Yeah. Keep this in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the Law Talks family. Podcast, show, whatever this is you want to call it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
For your everyone that's returned, welcome back. What's up, family? This week we are going to highlight another black business, as we have done a new thing we're implementing, and this week it is up to me to highlight the black business. So the business of the week is Troops 360 Booth with an underscore on their Instagram. We'll put that somewhere here in this vicinity. Troops 360 Booth. Two ladies. They run a 360 booth. They were at this birthday party that I did over the weekend, and it's super dope. They give you props, sunglasses. They got the whole station set up for you. As soon as you're done, you can get the pictures. It's very, very professional, ladies. So I was able to meet them over the weekend, and we're actually going to try to. If they get some gigs and someone needs some music, they're gonna call me. If I got some music and somebody needs a photo booth, we're gonna call in, and we'll figure out a way to patronize you all. So shout out to Troops 360 Booth. That is the black business for the week. Fellas, how we doing?
Good, man. We in here.
What's the good news?
Not a damn thing.
We breathing. We living this.
Rapid fire. Favorite quote?
Wrap it up. We're done after that.
And that was Law Talks, ladies and gents. As you can see, this is what we have here at Law Talks, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about it all. We talk about relationships, mental health, financial stuff, your relationship with your family. We talk about it all. Social media, what's happening in the now. A lot of stuff, man. Let's get into it. What are we talking about today?
Let's talk about AB because we haven't dived into that in football.
Okay.
What are y'all thoughts on Antonio Brown and the things that's happened with him?
Quite frankly, I kind of look at it. I like to look at things from both sides. I think we as people we immediately jump to judging people and saying, oh, he's he has mental issues or this, that, and the third. I don't believe that. I believe that man has gone through some things, but I do believe that people act out for reasons, whether it be mental or not. But I believe he acted out for a reason. I believe that he has some thought process behind why he acted that way. And I mean, I think it'll be interesting to figure out,
what's going on.
But I'm not just gonna jump on the bandwagon and be like, oh yeah, he's mental and he's had all these issues before. Now something's behind.
Drew, because he played with the Steelers, your favorite
your
team.
He did play with the Steelers.
Yeah, man.
What's your thoughts, Drew?
I mean, just to see his actions, like sometimes, you can say that it has something to do with CTE. Maybe we don't know because obviously with CTE you have to check when the person's
it's got to be diagnosed.
But I mean, the way he lashed out, I necessarily would say I don't kind of agree with it because I mean there's other ways you can handle it. Like I mean y'all saw the game. He was with the Jets and like he just ran up, took his stuff off and ran up. Like, but I mean there's certain ways you can handle certain stuff. But I mean I still think there's like three sides to it. I mean it's his side, it's the coach's side, team side, and then it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So we're just hearing his side. I mean, we heard Bruce Arians what he was saying.
What was Bruce saying? For those who don't know,
Kind of saying like he told AB what it was. Like I don't know if y'all saw the text messages and stuff. Like the coach the team wanted him to play while he was hurt.
Yeah.
He showed the picture of his foot all messed up, and like that was his side. And then the coach was saying, oh, he had no recollection of that, and
the team doctor gave him a pass to play.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I honestly don't know. What he did was it was a little extra. But,
Very actually.
Who's to say of what action you take as extra? Maybe he thought it was the right move to make at that particular time. But
like I look at it from a different perspective too, because like probably maybe a week or two before all that happened, when Tampa Bay came to Carolina, and for a lot of you that don't know, I shoot on the NFL field, so I got to see him react in a way going into the locker room, and I haven't shared this with y'all. That wasn't in the media. Antonio lashed out during halftime of the Carolina game. Going into the locker room, like he was yelling and screaming, cursing his teammates out, like "Don't touch me, get off of me." Y'all try to make it seem like everything like he's yelling all of this, right? And so I'm just like, dang, what's really going on? But at the same time, you sit and you think about the NFL and the things that these players have to deal with, and we talk about how players don't really have a voice in the NFL, like how the NBA is. Like the NBA players run the league, NFL the owners run the league. Yeah. So it's completely different. Like the one thing I don't like about the NFL is that franchise tag. Because I feel like they own the players. Like you don't get to decide after your contract's up 3 years, 4 years, whatever, that you want to go to a different team. Oh, we're going to franchise tag you to keep you here until you resign with us. Or you got to play an extra 2 years on a franchise tag in order to leave to go to another team. And it's unfortunate as well. Another thing that I wanted to ask y'all about is, what's your thoughts on this whole black coaches not being able, being hired in the NFL?
Oh, it's 100%.
Another thing, that's another 100%. Rule going down my team, the Steelers, the Rooney Rule, which was actually It's called the Rooney Rule. It was the president of the Steelers, like way down. Art Rooney was, I think, who started it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know, the Rooney Rule is each team has to at least interview one black coach before they can hire like anybody. Like that's like the requirement. Yeah, like you have to at least hire. You have to at least interview one black coach or one minority.
Was Art Rooney black?
No, he was white. Okay. That's kind of a part of the reason why I like the Steelers too, because they was like into dope. The culture and blacks and just us.
Integration.
So with the coaching stuff that's happening, Brian Flores, is the coach of the Dolphins.
What part of the Dolphins does he coach?
He was the head coach.
He was head coach. Oh, wow.
And just to give you a backstory before Drew dives into this guy won 8 of their last 9 games to end the season. Yeah. Right? And he still got fired. But I'm going to let Drew dig into the details.
So, Bill Belichick, obviously, is Bill Belichick. If you're not aware, coach of the New England Patriots. He was texting Brian Flores, the black coach. Okay. Yeah. He was technically supposed to be texting Brian.
Yeah, it was supposed to be another Brian. Right?
The white guy.
I heard a little bit about this.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, long story short, he texted the black coach saying that he got the job when he was supposed to be interviewing for the job. But he mistakenly texted the black coach the white coach. He was supposed to be texting a white coach to be like, "Hey, congratulations, you got the job." But the black coach was like, "Wait, my interview was Thursday. How did I get the job already?" Bill Belichick, long story short, was like, "Oh, my bad. I meant to text the other Brian." Yeah. So he's saying, how did the white coach get the job already? And when I was scheduled to have my interview on upcoming Thursday.
So needless to say, there's a lawsuit out of the NFL. He probably never coach in the NFL again, which it doesn't matter because this is bigger than somebody has to be the sheep. Yeah, right. Somebody has to make this public. Yeah, he'll get another opportunity in coaching probably college, but he probably won't ever be able to coach in the NFL again. And you know, I talked to my family about this the other day. We were talking about it, and think about the NFL. The NFL is just like society, right? Okay. Jobs that we may not get the opportunity at today.
There's a boys club, man.
Yeah, Drew may apply for a job and have somebody of a white person that applied for the same position. They have the same resume. Yeah, the white person's probably gonna get the nod before he does, and it's unfair. Like, why in 2022 are we still like struggling with this in society? Like, it's I cannot stand the diversion and inclusion conversation, but you're not diving deep into those conversations. Yeah. You don't understand truly what it is to be a black person in America or a black female in America. They don't always get the opportunity either, right? They got two things against them. They're female and they're black, right? So these are the things that we need to try to implement and change, and this is why I mentioned to y'all about supporting and starting a segment of supporting our black businesses in the Charlotte community is because of the things that I see on a daily basis. I get tired of having a conversation, and it's just like to be in a professional setting where you get a manager that says, "Oh, I'll never be a black person, and I'll never be a woman in this world." Like, you're part of the problem if you don't dig deep into the why of who I am, right? Because I don't have a problem understanding who you are. Yeah. Why can't you understand who I am and give me an opportunity, not because of the color of my skin, because of the quality of person and the work ethic that I have, right? So I can go on and on about this. Like, this is something that's very touchy to me. Diversity and inclusion is very important. And I think, to anybody that's listening and anybody that's in power and places of hiring people, black and brown people, give us the opportunity. Like, we can work just as hard or better than somebody else.
We're not asking for handouts.
No, we don't want no handouts.
Just the same opportunity.
Yep, equality. That's all we need.
Oh, well, keep it here. I got a question for y'all.
Yep.
How much do you think black people would care about racism if we got reparations?
The 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah. Or just whatever. Just in this society, if they said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do for y'all in response to just giving y'all reparations for what y'all went through, y'all people." How much do you think we would care about racism if we actually got reparations? And I was having a conversation with other black people, and they were saying, "What if we never had to pay taxes anymore?"
Would that be a good substitute?
That's what I'm
saying.
Yeah, no,
man.
we just right.
Sign me up.
Yeah, but do you think we would still care about racism if they gave us some type of?
What do you mean still care about it though? I mean, and it's not that black people care about racism. Yeah. Black people deal with racism.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not that we want to go outside and say, "Hey, man, you know what? I don't want to deal with racism today." No, nigga.
Yeah, doesn't matter what.
We
but what if they was like, "Okay, but y'all got your reparations, so now what?" Like,
I think
black people ain't the one that's causing racism.
Yeah. But I also think, just like, like how I working in mortgages and everything, there's a lot of rules that have been put in place just recently to stop racism in mortgages and in jobs. Like, we still filling out like our background on jobs. Like, I think if we were to get any kind of reparation, they would still find a way to call it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I still, like, I'm from the South. I wholeheartedly believe there are some people out there who just don't like us for the fear, the sheer fear that we can do better than them if we get that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Or we just don't look like them.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like. I mean, I don't know why they're like that, or where it comes from, but just growing up that way is just like it's not necessary. It's not fair, and the fact that they're still doing this and we're still talking about this in 2022 is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think the biggest argument for me is like, as soon as something happened, you look at the comments or something, they'd be like, "Oh, here comes black people pulling the race card," and it's just like, we're not pulling the race card, but it's obvious it's racism, right? It's obvious it's racism, but you don't take the time, the same person to comment, you don't take the time to understand why we go through what we go through, right? On a daily basis. And, you know, and we talk about how mentally as men, we have to be strong as black men. We wear so much on our shoulders that a lot of people don't understand. Like, we may come to a job every single day that we don't like, but we have to do that because we got to provide for our family, right? Whereas the other party, your wife may not even have to work, right? You make so much money that your spouse doesn't even have to work. Black community, black household, the man and the wife has to work to make what that white man might make on one job by himself, right? So it's just it's crazy to me. Hopefully, I'm praying that every day that this thing starts to change, and hopefully this next generation actually evolves and starts speaking up, and hopefully it changes. But we have to get to a point where we have to educate. Like, I don't have a problem sitting in a room with white people who are willing to understand me as a black man or any other black man, right? If you sit in a room and you want to learn our culture, man, I applaud you. For the people who bash us and don't try to understand, like, I don't have no respect for you.
Have you ever been the recipient or on the backside of the racist act?
To be honest, yo, I don't think I have. Like, to the point where I saw something and I was like, damn, like that's racist. Like, that's racist.
Nothing towards you.
Nothing that I've seen personally. No,
how about
I
you,
don't
man?
think it's happened to me.
Yes.
Really?
I mean, I have. It's so many examples, but it's the I guess the way I kind of go about it. Like, for instance, if you're just in our minds that the way it's programmed, if you're in, say for instance, me and my family was in New Orleans, and it was me and my other male cousin and my other three female cousins. We walked into a store, and we're on vacation. We got book bags. That's typically what happens when you're on vacation. You walk around with a book bag. We're tourists, basically. We walk in this store, immediately we get looked at. Now, I know somebody else is in here of the lighter complexion who has a book bag as well. But you're staring at me. It's stuff like that. Or as a 14-year-old boy walking out of Walmart in Monscone, South Carolina. I'm walking out of the entrance. Old lady is walking in. We're walking in out of the same entrance. There's only one entrance. But when I walk by her, she grips a purse. Like, why? You don't know me from a can of paint.
No.
At all.
But you gripping your purse?
So, not to make light of it, but a comedian said, I hate when white women clutch their purse when I walk by. It's like, I'm strong. You think I can't take that? I'm taking it. Exactly. Like why would I don't understand it, man.
Have you though? Personally?
I fortunately, there's not a point that I can point out where I've been on the receiving end of some racist stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, we've all seen it.
I mean, but I don't. Fortunately, I haven't. Or maybe I'm just. I'm sunshine and rainbows. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And
how about you, Rudy?
Oh, I've seen it professionally in sports. I've seen it all. Like, you forget, I played baseball. So to be called the N-word all the time,
I've never like that's. I haven't.
And it took a lot in me not to react, because I mean I could. But the thing is, it's just like, I've learned that if I react or I lash out, then I'm the crazy black person.
Absolutely.
Right? For reacting the way I react.
Always.
And what power I'm giving you to lash out, because you got to live with yourself. You got to answer that at the end of the day. I don't have to, right? But the way you treat me is going to go a long way. But in the workplace, same thing. I've never been called an N-word. Like, I just won't take that in the workplace, right? Or
But on the sports field, they will call you.
Oh, absolutely.
That's wild, bro. I never know.
Can you imagine being the only black person on a baseball team? Right?
No.
The only black person, and you're actually good at what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It was terrible.
That's wild, bro.
But, I mean, that's
come down my lane.
Yeah.
That's wild, dog.
Yeah, it like, and I vividly remember this, and I don't care if he's watching. Like, one of my high school teammates, he did that at practice. We had practice, and he called
like viciously.
Yes.
Oh,
and there's 3 of us on the team at this point, right? And he said that, and the other 2 turned around and looked at him, and dog, I had to like literally stop them from beating him up. They were about to hit him with the baseball bat, bro.
The white boys?
No, the black dudes. They were about to beat the white boy up for doing that. And my coach had to cancel practice. It's because it was that bad. And our coach addressed it, and we didn't have any other problems after that.
Dang.
His parents got involved. Our parents got involved. It was like really nasty.
Oh, wow.
It almost went to, of course, the one thing my coach didn't want it to go to is the 80 and the school board.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we were trying to avoid. Yeah. But, man, we hashed that out.
Dang.
And was like, yo, like, where are you learning this from, though? Because he don't know, like, the story that I always try to share with any white person that tries to understand our culture is, you put a white baby and a black baby in the same box.
They will play.
They will not know the difference between each other, right?
It's taught.
But you have to teach somebody, oh, this person is different from you, right? But it's stupid to me, because I don't look at a white person and I'm like, oh, you're different from me, so I'm gonna treat you different. No, right? It's so crazy, man. It's crazy, but.
We're built different, man.
Absolutely.
Black people are just we are built different, bro. We're magical, man. The amount of restraint that we have to have on a daily basis, bro.
Yeah.
But can you imagine living in the Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks?
Absolutely not, bro.
But the thing is
absolutely
like,
not.
But imagine this. We know right from wrong now, but did they really learn that in the beginning, or was it something that they learned later on in life? Because as they gotten older, they started to speak up. But all they knew is, oh, we got to go in this field and we got to go pick cotton and we got to be a slave and we have to do these things, right? Yeah. But this society right now, man, you're going to have a riot if you try to do something like that.
And I wanted to ask you guys, like in regards to, all of the racism and stuff like that, as black men, how do y'all feel it is to live every day, as like how you say we gotta have restraint? Like, how do y'all feel like every day in different settings that you have to be mentally to ultimately survive or not be characterized as the angry black man?
But it's the privilege that they get, bro. Like that it's hard. It's hard. It's like, I feel as though we bite our tongue a lot, and we don't speak up. Like, I'll say, like, even in my professional workplace, I speak up, right? And I'm the black sheep of what we do, right? So I'll speak up. I don't care. You can categorize me any way you want to, but at the end of the day, you're not going to treat me wrong. You're not going to treat our people wrong. Because for me to hear the whispers from everybody that looks like me, that struggles with the same thing I struggle with, somebody has to speak up. Yeah. And if we don't, the cycle will continue. I'm gonna give you an example of somewhat of an example of white privilege. Me and Tanya uptown Charlotte. We're driving. This is at night. We've just left dinner, and we're driving on the road uptown. White people puts their hand up in the middle of traffic. There's no crosswalks, right? In the middle of traffic, bro, and puts their hand up to stop me so they can walk across the street. What? Right? And we were like, and I honked the horn. I'm like, what are you doing? Next thing you know, she flicks me off. And she's like, yo, F you, blah, blah, blah. Bro, do you understand? Like, now her and Tanya got into it. Right? So now Tanya puts the window down. This white man walks up to the windows like, who are you think you talking to? What? Bro, I opened the car door and I said, boy, my parents watching, excuse me what I'm about to say. I was like, I will whip now. Right here. Like what? Bro, this is a woman you talk to. I didn't address her. Tanya did, right? Yeah. I didn't say nothing to the woman. But when you spoke to her, Now you offended me.
Yeah, I ain't talking
right,
to you, brother.
And I told him, I was like, you better back up or I'm going to get out this car. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's like, do we act that way? Does some of us as black people act that way? Some of us act that way.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Yeah.
But those are the ones that they think that we're always alike.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And every white person ain't the same, and every black person ain't the same. But at the end of the day, we all got to show each other grace. That's it. We got to show each other grace, man.
I think it builds character and like just knowing that if a white person was in my shoes, like you couldn't be me. Like you couldn't make it through whatever I'm going through. Like you couldn't go through none of these trials and tribulations, just being slighted in any type of field. Like you would never be me. Right? Yeah. Like you couldn't handle this. You would never be able to handle this. So I think that's what I bring into, like, if I feel slighted or just walking into white America or corporate America, like, if the roles were reversed, you wouldn't be able to handle this.
Yeah.
Like,
do y'all ever think we'll get to a point where, like, there's a lot of black owners in sports and companies? Do you ever think we'll see that day where there's, I'm not going to say majority of the businesses, but a good percentage, let's just say 20% of companies, 30% of companies have black ownership?
I agree with Ray. I would say hopefully.
Maybe.
I look at a lot of things. We're still talking about things that happened like back in the 40s and 50s, still today.
Yeah.
They really want things to keep the one of the dumbest things that I thought was when Trump became president. It's like, make America great again. When the hell was it great? Why do you want me to go back into that particular standpoint? Yeah. Why do you feel as if it's okay to talk about those things when knowing you're hurting a whole generation of people? Like, your story just now, like I feel like growing up down there, I swear, like stuff like that boils my blood.
Yeah.
Boils my blood. I know there was a time where I worked in corporate America where I was literally the only black person in the office.
Yeah.
And most of the time, like if I was doing, now granted, if I'm doing something wrong, correct me. I can take that.
Yeah.
But if I feel like you're coming at me a certain way, and I say something, take it as I didn't like what you said. I said it to you professionally. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Don't call me angry. Don't call me combative. Don't call everything that I say all the negative connotations of blackness. So it's like we got to deal with that every day, and it's just like. Why? So to go back to what we said, hopefully when we see it, I don't think I'll be allowed to see it.
So Drew, let me ask you this question, because me, Ray, Darren, we grew up in the South. You grew up in the North.
Yeah.
Was it that bad up north when you were growing up?
No.
Like how we described it?
No, like it's real, and it's funny because when I moved here, I saw my first Confederate flag, and I'm thinking like, yo, this is crazy, like y'all. But who I was with at the time was like, bro, they all the time, and I'm like, what? Like, but up north, like we don't see that. Like we don't see that at all, and it is different, I guess, in geographical terms. But literally, that blew my mind when I moved here and I saw that. Like, yo, I've never seen a Confederate flag ever, and it's like it's normal to.
You don't think about that.
No.
That's why I said his perspective of growing up.
It's different. It's different. Yeah. So I have
did Charleston come?
Yeah.
On trucks.
On the back of their
on the
truck.
fucking F-150.
Yeah.
They had the flag in the back of their truck riding around.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So I would think it's different. Yeah. I haven't witnessed it at all. Nobody I know personally seen it, or obviously besides like police and stuff like that, but going into just living your everyday life, no, not at all.
I challenge everybody, our listeners, like it, and especially black, white, Hispanic, whatever. We challenge you to treat everybody equal.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Just be fair with everybody. Love everybody. Because at the end of the day, when this life is over, guess what? You got to answer to whoever you believe in, your higher being. And I mean,
he ain't gonna care if that person was black or white.
He doesn't care at all.
Exactly.
How did you treat
your people?
Yeah.
Because
how you treat them is how you treating me.
Absolutely.
Wanted to hit y'all guys real quick on also like
I gotta peep too. It's a quick commercial break.
No, you go ahead. All right, we'll continue.
I couldn't hold it.
Ray leaving this set.
I'll be right
Just
back.
like real quick, man. Like, how do y'all? We've had a lot of talk about police brutality and the George Floyd thing and all of that. Have you guys dealt with that? Ran into it? What has been your thought process on the police and your upbringing, all of that?
Again, for me, no. Like, I haven't seen it. I haven't went through it. Not that I know of it in regards to my race.
Obviously, every time we get pulled over, you feel it's something like, oh, it's because I'm black or whatever. Yeah. But every time I got pulled over, if I have everything that I need, that's it. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't. Ever since the George Floyd and like before that, obviously, it's like we're walking with the target and we feel some type of anxiety if we're pulled over. If we see a cop, we always feel something like it could happen to us. But every time my interaction with a officer or a like a person of authority, it's always I've never felt like threatened or anything in regards to that. So like I don't know, maybe I haven't came across it yet, and the stories that I hear they're very mind-boggling and it's like an eye-opener. But to me personally, I've never like
your experience in general.
That's what I'm saying. Like felt
like
nothing.
To not have had that ever.
Never.
It's crazy.
Beard, tattoos, black, and I you would think that I would be the typical black man, but I've never faced none of that.
Like, honestly, Darren, I haven't faced it either.
Really?
No. I mean, I think the reason why I haven't really faced it is because I wanted to be in law enforcement, right? I wanted to be I wanted to be in the FBI, right? So I knew in order to go to the FBI, I had to do 2 years of public or city policing. And then going through training, when I went through like what I went through in Rock Hill to try to be a police officer, I saw the other side, right? Yeah. And honestly, and this is why I always like talking about this, is because all police aren't bad police officers. Right. There are a lot of bad ones. There are a lot of good ones, right? But at the end of the day, it's like we have to also learn the approach, right? Put yourself in that officer's shoes. Like if a police pulls you over at night, you got tinted windows on your car, he rides up, he's by himself. The first thing he's going to do is grab his gun, is because in his mind, he doesn't know if you're black or white yet, right? But he knows that I got to go home at the end of the night. So if this person pulls something on me, I got to be ready, right? So, and I've been on those ride-alongs where, like, I've been on a ride-along when a guy, literally, he's trying to hide his beer, but he puts his hand underneath his seat. The one thing that you think about is you pulling up a gun. You ain't thinking about hiding no beer, right? So, and I went through police simulations where it's a quick reaction. Am I pulling my taser or am I pulling my gun? And I'll be honest with you, when I did the simulation, I probably died 9 out of 10 times. It's because my mind is, and my heart is, let me have a conversation with you. Let's diffuse the situation. Not let me react really quick and pull a gun. But most times in those simulations, somebody pulls a weapon. How do you react? In literally, we talk in 2 to 3 seconds that you have to react. So in certain situations of what's going on with society about like black people, cops killing black people, a lot of this is wrong. But a lot of it, that's why I like to hear the story of how it happens. Just like, I don't know if y'all have seen another cop just killed another black person in Minnesota. Y'all saw that?
On the no knock warrant.
Right?
I saw that.
But at the end of the day, it's just, I think about this, is if you no knock warrant in my house and I don't know who you are and you just come in here, my first reaction is you're a burglar. I'm going to pull my gun. Right? That's my first reaction. But also you have to, you acknowledge yourself, number one, but even if you see me with a weapon, at least give me the chance to drop it, right? Before you start shooting. Now, if I shoot at you first, you have all the rights in the world to shoot back. But at least give me the chance to say, drop your weapon. But I done seen in so many instances where white police allow white people to say, oh, I'll shoot you right now. But you don't do nothing to them. Right? Give us the same kind of decency and give us a chance to live. So, yeah, it's crazy that we're still dealing with this. Like you said, 1940s. We're still dealing with this in 2022. It's crazy.
Ray, what about you? Have you ever had any negative encounters with the cops?
No, but I always get nervous when they behind me. No,
Of course.
I think we're born with PTSD.
Yeah.
Because we're shown images all the time of cops killing us.
Yeah.
Even though I've never been in handcuffs, I've never been on the hood of my car, nothing like that. But I feel like every time a cop is behind me, it's happening to me that day.
Yeah.
And it is a real PTSD to deal with, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know how we can shake it, but it's terrible because the police their job is to protect and serve.
Yeah.
But how do you're not supposed to get scared or tense when the police are behind you.
Right.
That's not supposed to be an emotion that's elected from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've never had any. Surprisingly, all my encounters with police have I've gotten a ticket one time, but the cop was like, "Here, all right, you got me, bro." I was driving fast.
This is interesting. On a 70 or out of this whole entire cast, it seems like I'm the only person that I've had.
You've had a bad one? Really? Sound like a few.
Yeah, I've had a few.
Really?
And I mean, have I been to jail? No. Do I have a record? No. I've had none of that.
Y'all been? Oh, y'all ain't been.
Yeah.
I was in a holding cell. I wasn't.
Oh, word? Junior Dirt man.
Check his right.
I was in a holding cell.
What?
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to that. We're definitely gonna circle back to that.
I'll be real quick, man. It was myself and my cousin riding together, and we was in that same place that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But we were riding, and literally from Walmart to where we got stopped at was probably, I don't know, 4 miles. He pulled up behind us. We were driving out of town. We were driving his aunt's car at the time. She was from Florida. But he pulled up behind us and said he had followed us from that Walmart to where he stopped us at because we had not had on our headlights. Now, granted, it's a newer car. It's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
So
Automatic.
Automatic.
I was like, all right, whatever. So he pulls us, but the crazy part about it, when he gets there, he automatically calls back up. And he has a partner in his car, but he automatically calls back up. So there are now 4 cops at the car. He comes up to my cousin's side, who's driving, get all his information. Now I got a cop on my side.
Yeah.
And he's not holding his gun, but he's in a position to
Just
where
right there, like he get
you move, I kid. Like that type thing. He gets my information, whatever the case may be. He got my cousin out of the car. He got me to step out of the car. So now he's talking to my cousin.
Yeah.
He has me at the back of the car. Now again, it's a routine stop. He stopped us for headlights.
Yeah.
A third car comes up.
What?
Now a K9 comes up. So now there are 4 cars. There are 8 cops and a dog.
for a random stop, like.
They just look at it.
Now, granted,
Profiling.
he got my cousin over here. Now he's talking to me, and he was like, "You mind if I search the car?" And at the time, I had no idea what my rights were.
Yep.
I said, "I don't care.
Yeah, sure.
Do what you do."
Yeah.
He goes up. Dog runs in the car. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
My thought process: you go around the car once, you don't smell nothing. You go about your business. You let us go. They send this dog around again.
Wow.
Now, while he's talking to me, he looks at my license. He was like, you still live down here? I was like, nah, we home from college.
Yeah.
We just had, with our families. He asked us what college we went to. Told him. He was like, oh, so what y'all do? Play ball a little bit?
Oh, Jesus.
So what?
It's crazy.
Now, granted, he stopped us, and just to make a long story short, he stopped us. We probably was out there probably 2.5 hours.
God, dog.
Just kind of there.
With the cop, just
but at this time,
like,
it's
what?
like I'm like every time I do something, because at this time you here and he's sweating. I got all these people around me.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing with my cousin back here. So I'm nervous at the same time. But every time I do something, don't do that. You're making me nervous. How am I making you nervous?
Right.
Oh man.
You don't know how nervous I am right now. Like we out here going on 2.
Yeah. And we were 19 at the time. Yeah, 8 grown men and an adult.
Yeah. See.
But it's like, and it's things like that that makes me say, why?
Yeah.
Well,
Like nothing in my mind said, oh, I'm gonna try to run or I'm gonna try to do this. So yeah, you had your calls for headlights and we were from Florida and you had a couple drug things with people from Florida. I get it. Say that and let us go.
Right.
But why put us through all of that?
know the law, fellas. If I don't tell y'all nothing
And that's
else,
another, and your rights too.
and your
Yeah.
rights. Know the law and your rights. I'm telling you.
A simple phrase can get you out of a ticket, like, or just like a check-in of a, you know, without having a warrant. But we just don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know what to say. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
I just got pulled over Friday.
Word?
Dog, but again, it goes back to what we talked about in the last episode. Like mentally, my mind hasn't been there, right? So I'm driving, bro. I'm thinking about my grandmother,
Yeah.
right? The whole time, I don't even know how fast I was
Right,
going.
yeah, you just driving.
Dog, he pulled me over. He was like, what's the rush? I was like, man, honestly, my mental is not there. And I told him, I was like, my mental ain't there. I just lost my grandmother. I'm not there, right? And he was like, you was going 80. I was like, honestly, you got me. I said, I don't know what else do you want me to tell you? You asked me why. This is my why, right? It was a white cop, and he was just like, well, why you got South Carolina tags and a North Carolina ID? Of course, car registered in South Carolina. I just switched over my ID, and that's it. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. Yeah, you be right back. He came back with a ticket. But I'm thinking you about to write me a warning, which it's cool. It is what it is. You got to do your job. I told you what was going on. But he wasn't rude or nothing. But that's me giving you an example of answering your questions. Yeah. But then a good stop where I didn't feel bad about the situation. I didn't feel like I was in fear or anything. And it's stops like that happen. But then there's also stops that, you know, a cop be like, man, I understand. I apologize for your loss. And that's it. That one time did he say, I'm sorry for your loss? But all he said is just, man, you got to slow it down.
His mind made up already.
His mind was already made up when he saw who I was.
Man, I had I'll say this on and off the record. When I was headed to Atlanta to audition, and we had a paper plane in the car. just finished one. And I'm rolling over, listen, we watch a YouTube video. And I see him in one of them Rams, one of them Dodge Rams. He pull up on me, hit them lights, woo! So we pull off to the exit. He started off a little abrasive. He's like, man, why didn't you stop back there? I was like, bro, I'm just trying to get off the road. Rise on the side, sleep. It's like I smell some paraphernalia in there. We get out and talk, and he's like, listen, man, if you got a little something, we can work it out. But if you got like a pound in here, we got to talk about it. It was a white dude. We was in Georgia, bro. It was a white dude. And I was like, man, you know what? I got one under the. He was like, I was like, dog, I'll throw this joint out right here. He was like, man, listen. I told him about the America's Got Talent and all that. He searched the car. And then he saw my bowling bag in the back. He was like, are you bold? So we went right into that. Yeah, I'm like, dog, this cold turkey. I was like, dog, we was trying to get up the road. He actually let Ron sit in the police car when he searched the car. He's like, man, you just get up the road, man. Just do your thing. That was a blessing.
Yeah, but that's what I said.
That was
some good and some bad.
Yeah,
because I feel like in a situation like that, if I was a police officer and I pulled a white person over, me being a black cop, and that same situation just happened with me on Friday, I'll probably be like, you know what, I'm sorry for your loss. Go ahead. Just make sure you slow down. And that was it. But the fact of the matter is that you have to. But it's cool. I'll take care. I'll take responsibility for what happened. But you could have let me go.
But it's always us where it's a cop behind us. We get nervous. And as soon as they pass us, we like, yeah, you about to catch me, dog. Yeah, I'm good, nigga. Light up the joint all in the Not me, you wasn't catching me. Feel me? I'm a real one, dog. Like, it's always like that.
That was real life, man. What have we talked about this episode, folks?
Talk about race.
We're talking about a lot of race, man.
Black History Month.
There it is. Black History Month.
All right, who's got the Black History fact for?
I gave it to you already.
You ain't gave us one.
Oh, the Black History fact. Oh, that was just a random fact.
Yeah, what was the Black History? I did mine last episode.
I did the lady. I ain't know her name though.
The first. Okay,
yeah.
From now on, guys, we're gonna actually have the real facts and the names when it comes. This is off top of the head.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
check it out.
As always, we appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, man.
Golf talk.
Yeah, you heard about them boys, we them boys, yeah, we bad. We smoking on that hookah, just make sure that it get passed. Go ahead, subscribe, and make sure you do it fast. We about to get it started, Love Talks Podcast, let's talk about it.